Welcome to Unlearn the Crap TV with your host, Kathy Baldwin. Unlearn the Crap TV is more than just a show. It's a movement towards breaking free from the disempowering structures designed to benefit the few at the expense of the many. It's about education, healing, and unlearning the detrimental beliefs that have been ingrained in society for generations. So now, please welcome the host of Unlearn the Crap TV, Kathy Baldwin.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could unlearn the crap and be once and done and have it over with? Oh my goodness. Sounds kind of like utopia. It also sounds like a fantasy because that's not the way it works. Welcome to Unlearn the Crap TV, where we question everything so that we can achieve anything. I wrote the book Unlearn the Crap after my journey. My journey involved me having a complete and total nervous breakdown by trying to live to too many rules of society that didn't fit or align with me. Even though my body was screaming at me and creating disease, fibromyalgia, stress, adrenal fatigue, osteoarthritis, you think that would have been enough for me to listen. But I didn't. I needed to have a complete and full breakdown. And the universe finally said, okay, we got your attention. Now it's time for you to listen. And I did. I learned how to listen. And in that whole journey, I learned that when I pay attention to my body, when I pay attention to the energy around me, when I pay attention to what is happening with the energy, the vibrations, the alignment with the universe, that there are messages and information out there. Well, this week, I had a really strong message coming at me, and it broke me open again. Everything technical that could go wrong has gone wrong. I've had so many challenges and so many issues, so many tears this week. And I'm thinking today's topic is about the purpose of life and prosperity. Well, how do we become prosperous if we're not in alignment with ourselves? If we're not listening to the language of what our body is saying? So I thought, I have some lessons that I need to learn this week. And what are those lessons? The lesson for me was that I was not being true to myself. Even though I had learned so much through this journey, through writing the book Unlearn the Crap, I was still showing up here trying to be perfect, trying to be what I thought I was supposed to be as a TV host. And that was taking me out of alignment. And I realized to create full prosperity, not only do we need to be fully aligned and true to ourselves, but we have to be aligned and true to our cause and our purpose so that we can create passion and peace. Today's show is so perfectly aligned to what my message is for this week. And I want to introduce you to two absolutely amazing women, Mistral and Suzanne. Would you please join me? Hello, ladies.
Hi,
Hi,
Kathy.
thank you for having us.
Oh, this could not have been better timed. I first met Suzanne. Suzanne is involved in creating alignment. Alignment is her company's brand name, it is her mission. It is about all of us aligning together. She is known as the brain unfucker, which is pretty cool to unlearning your crap, isn't it? Because that's where we learn it. All of that stuff gets stuck in our brain. And then when I met Mistral through Suzanne, because Suzanne, who is the alignment queen, says, you must meet Mistral. And man, oh man, Suzanne, were you right? She is awesome. Her and I had this amazing conversation about human design, which is not something I've ever known about. But when I realized that all of those years that I had been trying and falling and failing and getting up and trying again, it wasn't that there was something wrong with me. It was that I wasn't on my true path. I wasn't doing what was aligned with who I am. And when you find out who you are and who you naturally are and what your strengths and your talents are, man, can you create prosperity from a place of alignment and human design. Well,
Thank you again. This is incredibly exciting. We're super happy to be here and help you with your message today.
well, it's not just my message because you got some brains to unfuck there, young lady.
I got a whole ass job. Look at me.
Mistral, could you do me a favor? Could you explain for those people who are like me and didn't really know what human design was and what a difference it made? Feel free to share any of our conversation if you want,
Absolutely.
but help people understand.
Yeah, I think, today this show is so perfect because I know Kathy talks a lot about coming into who you are as a person, and Suzanne talks a lot about being in alignment with who you are. And human design is just an amazing tool that helps you or gives you a blueprint, an energetic blueprint of who you are actually designed to be. So it's just a tool and a resource to help you understand and decondition or unlearn the crap that we've all been told in our younger years. No matter who we are, we've all had some kind of conditioning from our parents, our grandparents, peers, teachers, so on and so forth. And those things could be from, us being too loud, too big, thinking too much into the sky, trying to do too much at once, making decisions too quickly. And so we move away from what our natural alignment is as children. And especially as we get older, we start to just follow a path of what we are told we should be doing. And so human design is a beautiful combination of astrology, the chakra system, and the I Ching system, and the tree of life. So it's this beautiful combination of ancient wisdom that has been sort of brought into, the 21st century now to help people understand who they are. And so everybody has a specific energy type. There's 5 energy types out there in the world right now. And that energy type really helps you identify with how your energy shows up in the world and allows you to shine your light bright. And I know when Kathy realized that she was a manifester, and I know when I realized I was a manifesting generator, and Suzanne, I think you're a generator. Is that right? I can't remember.
Yep, I'm the Energizer Bunny. I keep everybody else going.
So much easier to step into that blueprint that is yours and say, actually, as a manifesting generator, I'm meant to do things. I'm meant to run down the street on the phone while washing the dishes, while corralling my kids, right? That is a manifesting generator energy. Okay. A manifester is somebody who is a trailblazer. They're meant to go first. They're meant to basically show people the way, and they have this sort of Mack truck energy coming through of here I am, watch out, I'm coming through. And that can be really intimidating if you don't know that that's who you are as a young child. And people can sometimes say, you're too much, you're too big, I'm afraid of you, essentially. And generators and manifesting generators, and then there's projectors and reflectors, each energy shows up differently. And the point is that when you understand what your energy is, you get to step into it, and it allows you to really just shine so much brighter because it's who you are meant to be. And then you can unlearn the crap and unfuck your brain and start to actually step into alignment of who you're here to be, which is such a beautiful thing because we all need, I know that Kathy and Suzanne will agree with this, we all need to share our gifts. And when we aren't sharing our gifts with the world, we're actually doing a disservice to ourselves and, of course, everybody who would benefit from that.
Absolutely. You could not have phrased that better because I know there's so many people who think about this as woo woo instead of understanding that this is physics. This
Correct.
is connected to the universal laws.
Yes. And I think one thing to bring it back to for people to understand, and many scientists have proven this, is that we're energy. We are all energy as everything else in the world is. And energy is what we we can't create it, right? But we're putting it out into the universe, and that energy affects everybody and everything that we interact with. And so if we're not living in our energetic alignment, that's when things happen. Like you were talking about your sicknesses. I've been through burnout and adrenal fatigue. I'm sure Suzanne has something that she can relate to, because we all have a story as to why we're doing the job that we're doing now, to help other people figure out who they are, so that we can get rid of those brain and mindset and health problems that we have because of the stress and anxiety that we live under, because we're not living in our alignment.
Absolutely. Well, that couldn't be a better segue for you, Suzanne. Explain what alignment is as far as you and your business and how you pull it together for people.
Absolutely. So me personally, I've been a business coach for 20 years, and what I realized was for doing business coaching and consulting for so long, um, I was just kind of like constantly working. I was constantly doing the thing, right? Because that's what we were taught, was just keep going, keep pushing, keep moving forward. So I was got to the point where I was just completely exhausted. I was in burnout, like Mistral had said. It's just like that thing where you just know that it's just no longer working for you. And for me, my burnout became so severe. My cortisol levels were through the roof. It was in severe adrenal fatigue. But on top of that, it was actually putting me into liver and kidney failure. So I knew that there had to be more than just business, 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 business all the time. And so in the process of like healing myself and healing my body and, my systems, even my mindset with everything, I came to the realization that, we work because we're told we have to, like we're in that, in that crap state of mind of like, oh, well, it's fine. You can ignore the fact that you can't walk right now, but you can lay in your bed and you can work on your computer. It's fine. Oh, I'm sorry. Do your knees hurt? Oh, okay. Well, we still need you to run this half marathon, and we're doing it, right? We're still doing it. And so it was just like this understanding of we need to stop pushing ourselves past the limits of where we're supposed to be. And when I met Mistral, I was absolutely thrilled to find out more about, my human design. And the only thing that I had known about my human design at that point was the fact that I was a generator. And I was like, well, that makes sense because I'm constantly going. So that makes total sense. And she had said, well, see these arrows up by your head? This is like all pointing to your feminine. And I'm like, that's interesting because I kind of live in my masculine. I wonder why I'm so tired all the time. And it just like, it connected the dots for me. So as I was going through this whole healing journey, I realized that there's so much more that we have to put into our lives than just work. Work is a four-letter word for a reason, right? Like we have to look at it as if it feels like work, it smells like work, tastes like work, we shouldn't be doing it, right? It needs to feel passionate, it needs to feel engaging, it needs to feel comforting, it needs to feel supportive, it needs to feel like we're doing something good.
In
And, for
alignment, right?
with alignment, exactly. It needs to be within your alignment. So in the creation of alignment, I realized that, it really came down to we had to create a space where people could understand why they were feeling the way that they were feeling and really step into their awareness. Because we don't live in awareness anymore. We live in what do we have to do next? And getting people into that awareness allows them to really figure out what areas in life they're really struggling in and where they need the support so that they can start making a game plan of what do I need to do? How do I need to get myself in alignment so that I can live the life that I was intended to live? And in that, we've created this amazing community of collaborators. So no matter where you're struggling in your life, you're able to kind of come together with those people and say, you know what, I need help in my wellness while I'm also getting help in my business. Who can I talk to? And you've got these service providers around you that are just there to comfort you and catch you and say, you know what, it's okay. Fall into your feminine space here. We've got you. Let's help you find that balance between the masculine and feminine. Let's help you find your true alignment so that you can thrive as a successful business owner, but do it with the support and the guidance and the understanding that you have to lead with the passion of who you are and who you want to be and the lifestyle that you want to create the business of your dreams.
Wow. That's a great way for us to segue to commercial. We'll be right back.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. Rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies. Find settings that allow them to be the most productive and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
So I'm wondering, does that bring up enough questions for everyone about what you're missing, where you're out of alignment? Do you know what your natural human design is? What is a manifester? Mistral, for me, I've always known I was a big picture person, but I would start things and never finish them. And when I would get bogged down into the details, which I got to tell you, that's what this week has been. It's been a week of technical details, which I know is not my strength. And having all of these things happen all at once became a very life lesson for me to sit back and listen and say, what's going on? Why are you creating all of this energy right now that is taking you out? Well, it wasn't taking me out, it was trying to get my attention again.
Yeah.
So can you explain what that?
Yeah, manifestors actually have a rest cycle as well. And so manifestors have all of this big energy and they're meant to initiate. You're supposed to inform people before you initiate to make things actually really smooth. That's kind of how you're supposed to do. But typically manifestors just love to charge out and initiate things, right? And you're kind of the ideas builder, and then technically other people are supposed to help you build those, or maybe you're just throwing ideas out and then maybe a generator or a manifesting generator like myself picks up that idea and then we actually build it because we have this life force energy that's continually flowing through us. So you're actually not meant to initiate everything that you think of. But when you're getting these messages of things are all going wrong, you have to take that pause, listen to the universe, it's most likely that you're actually meant to be in a rest cycle. And so manifestors are designed to actually pause and have a rest cycle to allow the energy to sort of settle, or the dust to settle, essentially, right? Dust to settle, so that you can honor what you've already created, what's been put out there, the people who are helping you build that, and then come back once you're back from that rest cycle, which could be a day, it could be 3 days, but it's going to be 2 weeks if you don't take the time to rest. And that's not just for manifestors, right? Manifesting generators, projectors, reflectors, we all need rest as human beings. We do. But when we can honor our own actual energetic blueprint, Kathy, yours being a manifestor, is knowing when those rest cycles come and taking the cues of knowing when you need to step back and take that rest. And that's what's so key, right? Now, I actually follow my cycle. So I do a lot of cycle tracking so that in my business, I know based on my energetic blueprint and the cycle of my body and my flow. My company is named To Living in Flow. So always talking about flow, right? Is that I know when I should be creating content. I know when I should be actively selling. I know when I'm kind of doing behind the scenes activities. And so it's the kind of same thing with a generator or a manifesting generator or any other type of energy type, is also knowing our rest cycle as women is also very different to a rest cycle of a man. And so that's really important for us to understand as women, because otherwise we are actively living out of alignment, out of flow, out of our energetic blueprint, and causing problems like what we've all had in our burnout, which then leads to us being unsuccessful, feeling like failures, our ego going, see, I told you so. And then us falling into that unfuckery, right? Of like needing to unlearn that crap of like, that's just our ego talking. And so how do we re-drop into our body, which is what human design is teaching us to do. Come back into your body, listen to your body's intuition, your body's responses, what it's telling you, and stay out of this logical mind that we've always been told to follow, because that's just what our society teaches us at this moment right now. And we're sort of unlearning that and unfucking our brain from that and stepping into what our body is telling us.
So I have two different ways I want to go with this conversation. So Suzanne, be really patient, because if I go to you, then I'm going to lose this one. So Mistral, you had said that I, as a manifester, am the one who initiates.
Yes.
So if we were to take that thought process and go through creation, what would be the best order of each personality in creating something?
Oh, so okay. Yeah. So I think I understand what you're asking. So really with a manifester, whether you're in a business as an entrepreneur or you're in a career, you want to be in a leadership role, right? A leadership role where you're kind of the fire starter. You're the one that's getting things, you're excited about new possibilities. You're excited about the creation of these new things, but then you're going out and you're delegating to other people to fulfill those roles, because those things don't necessarily light you up, right? So manifestors are the initiators. They take action on their visions or help others take action on their visions. Generators, they're the sustainable life force that kind of align with what their gut intuition is telling them and push information out that other people initiate in them. So maybe a manifestor like yourself, Kathy, inspires someone like myself or someone like Suzanne, who are those manifesting generator types, and we initiate what you are giving to us, essentially. And then you have projectors, who are more likely to, they're almost like the guides, the people who have, they're like the lighthouse, and they're overviewing everybody else, and they can kind of see a better pathway. They can see a pathway to where we might be making mistakes when we've got our head down in the weeds, right? They're the people who can take the manifestor's vision and really see the exact way to go with that. And then a reflector is somebody who really is, they're a mirror. They're reflecting back onto us where we are not in alignment, where we are not showing up properly, or where we're doing things incorrectly. So each energy type almost has a different purpose and a different way that they're designed to bring and coordinate within the world. And each one of these needs to do it together, because when we can do it together, then we are sort of bringing more life and more alignment and more creativity into the world, because we're all living our purpose versus being told what to do. Did that answer sort of where you were thinking with that, Kathy, in some ways?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not going to tell my partner that he's a projector and that it's okay for him to point out where I'm going wrong. Sorry.
I'm like, okay.
The way that conversation went, I could just kind of hear his voice saying, "See, I'm supposed to tell you when you're going off course."
He is really, and what an amazing partner for you to have, that when you can invite him in, because really you want to be able to invite him in, because if he just starts telling you those things, you're not going to be ready to hear it. And you're going to just put your wall up and say, nope, not listening, not ready for it. Whereas if you can have this way to communicate where you're inviting him into this conversation, then you're open and receptive, and then he can tell you the guidance that you need and you're ready to receive it. And so that's one thing where projectors feel really unseen and unheard in the world, and oftentimes just are like, I don't know, like, why does no one see my talent? And it's because they have this vision and wisdom that people aren't ready to hear yet. And so that's a real big challenge for projectors oftentimes. And many projectors, when they find out they're a projector, they're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I felt my whole life. Like, how do I change that? And it's just tweaking little parts of how they're showing up, and it makes them feel so much more appreciated in the world.
That is amazing. That is such good information. I really wish that when we all came out of the womb, that one, we had a gene test that told us what was going on with our physical body, and we were given our human design so that we were raised in the way of knowing this is the way you are naturally.
Yes.
Suzanne, when we're talking about alignment and integration, and you brought up a beautiful point that when you have a community, when you have a tribe, because we have been disconnected from our community and our tribes. And I really believe we're coming back to a place where we're all there reaching out for each other so that we can strengthen with each other. What does that do to our brains when we have that alignment, when we have that integration and that collaboration?
Absolutely. So just like Mistral was saying, like when you figure out something like your human design, you're able to come into a space with your sense of authority. You have such a knowing in yourself and such a connection to yourself that you know how to show up authentically to other people. So when you're put into a tribe, you're able to find not just your like people, but your support system as well. So in that knowing of yourself, you can really get really deep and invested into what your life purpose is, because our purpose changes consistently throughout our whole lives. Your purpose that you had when you were 10 is different than the purpose you have when you're 20, which is different than your purpose when you're 30. So when people say, I found my purpose in life, I'm like, for right now, yeah, that's great. So this is awesome. Let's see what you come up with next, because that's kind of part of our life cycle. So when you're put in a space where you're told and you are shown that not only are you appreciated and accepted, but you're loved and you're respected and you're supported and you're connected, you are given, basically you're given permission to be the truest form of yourself. And we all still look for that. We all still look for that like kind of connection and that piece of, understanding who we are and being able to be vulnerable in that space. And it's really hard to do that when you're not surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals.
Yeah, and if you don't know who you are, then you don't know what part of the piece of alignment you need to be finding. So many times we're looking for people like us, but if we're filling our world with people like us, we're missing that integration, that connection that you get with true alignment.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed. It's really important that we really understand that, like, we are that melting pot. The whole world is a place where we're supposed to come together. We were all created equally. There's not a difference between any man, woman, child on the entire planet. But besides the fact that we just have different things that make us up, just like a human design. There's everybody has their differences. Everybody has fingerprints that are always different. Nobody has the same set of fingerprints. That's the thing that makes us unique. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, we're all people. So anytime that we look at, where we are in life, we have to look at the fact that, all in all, our job, our mission, our entire mission is to support and love each other. That's it. That's all we're supposed to do. So if we can continuously do that, then we're doing a good fucking job. That's just how it works, right? But you have to be in that headspace and that mindset that it's collaboration over competition.
Yeah.
And we have to collaborate. We have to work with each other, especially like us ladies. The mean girls are out there. We know, we've all experienced them. We've all had those times. But the days of the mean girls is over. You're noticing that more and more, even teenage girls are just like not putting up with it. I love it because I'm just like, you're not putting up with the drama? That's amazing. Like, That's phenomenal. The people that love the drama, they're getting left alone. They're getting like left to the side. And it's like, you know what? You need to find your path. You need to find your way. And the reason being is because people really want to collaborate. They really want to work together. Um, COVID hit that like kind of reset button for all of us in the sense of, going inside of ourselves, finding our connections, finding our tribes, finding, our family units, finding our connection with self as well as also our partners in life. And it forced us to really realize that we're missing so much by doing the things that we were doing, just punching that clock day in and day out and not doing anything else. We really got to that point where we knew that the alignment that we were all missing in life is critical.
Yeah. And with that thought, we'll be right back.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like it was almost instant, like I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Well, I believe that we are in the middle of a paradigm shift, that the world is changing so fast, especially for people of the Gen X generation. We are feeling it. And it is amazing how we are coming together. I believe that we're in this time where AI and robotics and automation and all these things are coming in, and they are taking away our JOBSs. We went through our education system to learn how to be good employees, how to do a job so that we could be workers and then for consumers in a system that is unsustainable. Our systems are breaking all around us. Our medical system, our financial system, our education systems, every one of our government systems. There are so many systems that are changing within the world. And it is our call for each and every one of us to truly know and understand who we authentically are so that we can step into our zone of genius. Because when we collaborate, when we unite, and we create systems that make for what I call a four-way win, which is a win for me, a win for you, a win for everyone watching, and a collective win for the world, where we all are financially independent, health independent, emotionally independent, where we are strong and fully aligned. This is where I see our change in our world coming through affiliate programs, and where all of us are creating multiple streams of income so that we do not need to be reliant upon one source of income. We don't need to be trapped by a paycheck or trapped by a job. Mistral, would you please explain what affiliate programs are and how you help people create them?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. So, as someone who has been building a business in the online space for the last 3 years, there's so much going on in the online space, from courses and programs and coaching to affiliate programs, which are kind of a little bit different. But I think what's so unique about the online space that many people might not realize is that there's a lot of opportunity not to just create your own programs and courses that you can create once and then sell multiple times. You can be live, they can be recorded. I mean, it's a beautiful thing for people to get access to knowledge and information that you have that can help them have a transformation. But then in addition to that, you can also, if you don't want to create your own thing or you're not sure what you would create yet, you're still kind of figuring it out, there's so many different programs in the online space where you can become affiliates of them. And so Susan knows a little bit about this as well, where you can be an affiliate of Amazon products, you can be affiliate of coaching programs, you can be an affiliate of like Target even, and just creating like a list of all the things a new mother would need. And now maybe with those things, you don't earn a lot of income, but you're sort of sharing your knowledge, what you've found, what you've tried, what you've come through. And then you're giving product recommendations. Now, if you're looking to make a little bit more money and you want to kind of monetize on bigger things, then you're looking at more course programs or creating your own coaching programs and then creating affiliates of that so that other people can actually monetize off of your own product and get your product out to more and more people. And so something right now that people maybe just don't realize is that when you are creating something like this in the online space, you're creating an income that is not only passive over time, but it's something that can grow essentially over time as well. And it can start at $20 a month all the way up to thousands of dollars a month, which is a really incredible opportunity for people who maybe feel right now that they are stuck in a job that isn't bringing light to their soul, that isn't allowing them to have time freedom or financial freedom that they truly desire. And then really affiliate marketing is such a great place to start. It's actually one of the places that I started when I was first in the online space, to start making money in the online space and just kind of figuring out like what it is you even want to do next, because there's so many women, and I'm sure Susan and Kathy, you can relate to this, who just, and I shouldn't say just women, people in general, who just don't know what they want to do because they've never been even asked or given the opportunity to really think about, what do I want to be doing? I was this person, like Suzanne was saying before, at 10 and then 20, and now I'm in my 40s or 50s or 60s even, and I'm lost. I don't even know where to start. And so I think that's what's so special about being in the online space, is that there's so much opportunity to make money, not by creating your own thing, but by working with other people whose product you can sell if you truly believe in it yourself.
Which is what I absolutely love. So all three of us and almost everybody that you are going to see on this show, plus almost anywhere else, has products that we've created. And we have an affiliate program. So anyone who is watching any one of us, they could sign up and become an affiliate and share our products. Does that not get you more into alignment when you start going around? When I was an interior decorator in my previous life, I would tell people when they were trying to figure out where to start, I would say, just go, I like, I like, I like, I like, I like. And eventually you start to see some patterns. So if you're signing up for affiliate programs and you're sharing all the I like, I like, I like, I like, now you start to see, oh, I'm really gravitating towards this. And does that not bring you more into alignment and create your tribe, Suzanne?
Without question. Actually, I can say that affiliate marketing is something I've been doing for at least about 15 years now, and affiliate marketing covers most of my household expenses. Just because I know that I create spaces with the products that are meaningful to me and the resources that I want to suggest to people based off of what the people that I work with I know are going to need. So whether it be book resources or, I do a lot with food prep and things like that. So containers and, water bottles, which, my boyfriend calls it the urn. But, it's like things like that where it's like people see you using it and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Where did you get that? And it's so easy to just drop that link and say, here you go. When you create that space, you're creating a space of authority for yourself as well, because now you're sharing things out there and saying these are the products that I love, that I use, that I stand behind, and you're putting yourself again in that authoritative position, which people listen to. So it creates the alignment within yourself to really kind of boost up that. Unfortunately, we all have that like imposter syndrome that'll creep up at times. That authority pats down that imposter syndrome and doesn't let it creep back up on you because you're speaking from a space of knowledge.
I agree. And when I talk about unlearn the crap, we have been taught to get referrals, share recommendations, but not get remunerated for it. And one of the things that is so key in universal laws is the law of equal compensation. We need to be compensated equally for the efforts and contributions we give, not just give it away empty. And that is part of what breaks us down, is when we are unequally compensated.
Completely agreed.
Sorry. I think that's too, but that knocks you out of alignment too. When you don't feel valued, right? You start to be like, well, I'm doing all of this effort and all of this thing and people don't see me, right? You don't have to be a projector to feel that. You can be any energetic person to feel that. And so that's where it's so important. Like what you're saying is that, I think some people still look at it as negative. Like you should just give your information away for free, or you should just do this for free. Everyone's looking for something for free, but we would never expect Amazon or Google or Facebook, right, to be giving stuff away for free. These people are big businesses, and that's why they're big businesses, is because they don't listen to that old paradigm of, well, we should just do things for free, because that's not how businesses make money.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed. And actually, most people that will come to work with business coaches like me and like Mistral will always come to us and they're undervaluing themselves because societal standards have told them that they have to. So they just fall into that paradigm of, well, this is what all the people are going to be willing to pay for. And fact of the matter is that if you have value, but you don't want to charge people a lot of money, there's a new way to do it. Do it in a way that is within your alignment. Do it in a way where you're not overworking, you're not killing yourself, you're enjoying your days off. I work 3 days a week, but I make more money than I did when I was working 7. So there's ways to do things to be able to make a successful business and to grow your prosperity, but you have to do it within the right alignment of what makes sense for you. And if affiliate marketing is going to be one of those things, then you absolutely have to make sure that you're aligning with the products and the items that you want to put out there.
Correct. Otherwise it won't work.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. But part of what Unlearn the Crap is for me, and I think it fits with your brain unfuckery, which I just absolutely love, by the way, is that we have been manipulated by marketing companies that know how our brain works, that know how the chemicals of dopamine and serotonin and all of those things work, and they know how to push the buttons. And so they have trained our brains to say it is not of value unless it costs a fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
So our brains have been trained to not value love and compassion and integrity and all of these things that don't cost. And we value extremely expensive cars over a inexpensive car. But then we think, because of our knowledge and our experience, that I had this happen all the time when I first started. People would say, well, if you've got all this fantastic information on how people can get better and heal themselves, well, just give it away for free. There's something wrong with you if you're charging for it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, if you think about it, marketing is the last legal form of mind control, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it is the how to act, what to buy, what to feel when you buy it, how to feel if you can't get it, and how much harder you have to work to make it happen because otherwise you're not accepted, right? It is a version of mind control. It is literally telling you all of these different aspects. So it really comes down to, unfortunately, marketing is one of those things that we're never going to get away from it. We just have to learn what the algorithm is. What is it trying to teach us? Because every single thing in this entire world, every person we meet, every energy we come across, every commercial that we see, everything that we see on TV, it's all teaching us something. What is it trying to teach us?
Yeah. And if we know how our brains are wired and we know how we personally are wired, then when that is coming at us, we can recognize it for what it is and we can choose, is this empowering or is this disempowering? Right,
Exactly.
Mistral?
That's right. I love how you said we can choose, because that's what it comes down to, is we always have the choice, right? And we can either let our mind take over and tell us, right, you decide, we're either worthy or we're not worthy. And for women in particular, and many men too probably struggle with this, is that we tend to not be able to receive. And it's really being able to get into that state of receiving in our feminine flow so that we can call in our manifestations. Because so many times, and I'm sure both of you have spoken with women before that you're coaching, who are like, well, I don't deserve this, or I'm such a this, or I'm such a that. And they immediately dismiss themselves, which of course puts up a big fat wall in front of your face saying, I don't want this. I don't want to receive. I'm not good enough to receive. And so a big part of this is also, yes, we can talk about coming into alignment. Yes, we can talk about doing all the things, but we have to do the mindset work, which is everything that all three of us are talking about, to actually know that we are worthy of receiving and worthy of creating in this world, and that what we have to offer is of value.
Absolutely. I've just got to say, one of the things about universal laws is that we have feminine and masculine,
Yes.
and the feminine is the receiver. Now,
Mhm.
I'm not saying women and men, because we all have feminine and masculine within us, and we all have these ways that needs to come out. But when you are naturally in a feminine majority, and you are not receiving, then you are not creating, because the feminine energy, the feminine body is a receiving vessel to create.
That's right. That's right. And that's exactly what Susan was saying before, where she was in her masculine all the time. And I can relate to that too. All of my arrows in human design point to the right, which is femininity. And I was like, no wonder why I burnt out and got sick and had adrenal fatigue, because I was constantly operating in my masculine and I didn't have the balance, when my energetic blueprint craved freedom, craved flow, craved spontaneity. And instead, I was living in this very structured environment that just wasn't right for who I was or who I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Same with you, Suzanne. We all, sounds like the three of us all had burnout for exactly the same reason.
Absolutely. Yeah, was not in the alignment. I was completely in the let's get it done, let's get it done, let's get it done, and no rest. No time to recharge. And I'm also a generator on top of it. So like it's literally like my batteries were drained completely and there was no time to be able to charge them. And it just doesn't work. I mean, I'm out there giving like the generator's job, the way that I like to say it, is we're the push and the tush. We're the ones that are going to push out the energy to the people that need it to get them where they need to go, right? Like we're going to be able to help them create the things that they want to create. I love working with manifestors and manifesting generators because of the fact that I'm going to be the energetic source behind it. That's going to be like the power of the sun, just pushing all the energy into it that it needs to make it happen. And that's like my favorite part about what I do as a coach is I can push that much energy into it.
Which is why you are such a genius at creating your alignment group. You push out the energy and bring people together. Can you talk to people about your alignment group if they feel aligned to be a part of it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we are a community where it is women business owners that support women business owners. So what we want is to be able to we open up to service providers that are able to offer services to other female entrepreneurs, ones that are in burnout, they're stressed, they are frustrated, they're in fatigue, they are overwhelmed, they have been living in their masculine for way too long, and they're ready to fall into a feminine space. Our job as service providers is for them to be able to come in and know that they can trust fall because we've got them and we're going to help them and support them throughout that process. So if they are interested in that, they are absolutely welcome to come join us. We'll give them their free assessments where they can kind of figure out what areas of their life they really need the most support in so that they can start talking to some professionals in that space.
Beautiful. So how can they find you if they want to be a part of the alignment group or to get their brains unfucked? How do they find you?
Absolutely. They can go right to youralignmentproject.com and all the information is there.
Beautiful. Mistral, people have now heard about human design and they know who I am and who the two of you are. For those people who are sitting there saying, but I want to know who I am and where do I fit and where's my alignment? I only have one more minute before we have to wrap this up. Please tell people how they can get in touch with you and work with you.
Definitely. I'm on social media on Instagram. My company is called To Living in Flow. And you can also find my website, which is tolivinginflow.life. And that's where we can work together. You can do a bunch of different courses. Some of them are self-study. You can ask me about being an affiliate if you go through the program and love it. I mean, there's all kinds of things that we can work together on. But basically, let's pull your human design chart and get you back into your energetic alignment.
Beautiful. Is that TO or the number 2?
TO. Great ask. TO.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank both of you for being here with us today. I have enjoyed every second of this conversation. I hope everybody else has as well. Next week, I am going to have an incredible show where we are announcing something very special of alignment, of collaboration, of unity, of something so amazing that you must be a part of. So make sure you're here live, be a part of the conversation because we are inviting you to join us to collaborate and unify, come into alignment, and grow together as a team. We're all meant to be here together. Thank you again for being a part of another Unlearn Your Crap TV show where we question everything so that we can achieve anything. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Mistral. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been Unlearn the Crap TV with your host, Kathy Baldwin. Tune in each week as Kathy challenges you to rethink everything you know about personal empowerment and societal structures. Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave TV network.